We're going to be talking about nutrition and hormonal health. And I'm not going to be going over the natural fertility diet and its completion. That's kind of like the basic, here's what you're eating for healthy fertility. Today, we're going to be talking about some specific factors when it comes to nutrition and supporting hormonal health. If you are new to catching me here on Instagram, YouTube, or Facebook, my name is Heather Rodriguez. I'm a natural fertility specialist, and I specialize in helping women use lifestyle changes, natural therapies, herbs, diets, supplements, all those things to help support their fertility healthfully and to prepare for healthy pregnancy. So let's go ahead and jump right in. If you end up having any questions, go ahead and put them in the comments. I'd be more than happy to help clear up anything. So there's definitely impact that nutrition can have on hormonal health. And that's the reason that this is one of the pillars and one of the main areas that I'm talking about first in this hormonal health series that I'm doing. Nutrition is going to play a role because that is part of what your body is using to create hormones. That's part of what your body is using to process hormones, to help the body to get rid of excess hormones and manage when there's too much hormones. And then also what you're eating can also impact hormones coming into your body. So we will jump right into that. So there's certain hormones are made from certain fatty acids and cholesterol in the diet. In order to make hormones, the body there has to be an orchestra that's happening with every single hormone functioning at the right time and the right amount. So when it comes to diet, the focus is going to be balance and making sure that you have enough a variety of different foods and the different nutrients that are needed. So the first is obviously going to be to eating balanced meals. Having healthy blood sugar balance is going to be really important. When I find some women are wanting to skip meals as part of like a weight loss plan in order to eat less calories, that actually is going to make it harder to lose weight because the body thinks that there's an emergency and it's going to store as much fat as possible. So you don't want to be skipping meals. Also, that causes the blood sugar issues to be greater because you let your blood sugar get so low before you eat again. So definitely eating balanced, regular meals. By a balanced meal, I'm talking about having healthy fats, healthy proteins, carbohydrates, and eating those with every single meal. One great way to do that is just to make sure that you've got 3 to 4 parts of your plate that has kind of a different food group in it. Eating a diet high in fiber is going to be really important. A couple different reasons for this. Fiber is one of the main things the body uses to get rid of excess hormones in the body. So not only do we want balanced hormones and be producing enough hormones, we want to get rid of anything that there might be too much of. So fiber is going to be huge for that, right? Also, foods that are high in fiber are going to be very nutritious. They're going to have lots of nutrients, minerals, different things that you need for healthy hormonal balance in a cycle. The next is going to be good fats. So healthy fats are like, fertility is not the time to go on a no fat, low fat diet. No way. You definitely want to be having plenty of healthy fats in your diet. So what I mean by healthy fats are things that are going to be foods that are high in healthy fats or oils made from foods. So for example, avocado and avocado oil, coconuts, coconut oil, cod liver oil, fish, organic nuts and seeds that are raw. So a lot of those nutrients are intact. You can also have grass-fed butter and grass-fed ghee. Those have been shown to be high in omega-3 because of what the animal was eating. And then cage-free eggs with yolks is going to have healthy amounts of those fats in it, and cholesterol. So making sure you're getting the good fats. Some of the fats to avoid are going to be some of the things that you can find in processed foods and processed salad dressings, such as soybean oil, canola oil, what else is there? Anything hydrogenated oils, those want to be avoided. They are not going to be considered healthy fats. The next is to make sure you're getting enough clean protein. I find that for women, for some reason, it's really hard for us to get enough protein on a daily basis. So just being aware of that and really focusing on having enough healthy protein in your diet. The reason for that is, one, it helps, obviously you need the amino acids to build cells and, different things like that, but also it helps to keep the blood sugar levels balanced. Some ideas of really great proteins are going to be wild-caught fish, quality protein powders, organic nuts and seeds, beans, quinoa, organic free-range meats, wild meats if you're able to get them, spirulina. All of those types of foods are very high in protein. And then the next is going to make sure to include antioxidant-rich veggies and fruits. They're going to have high amounts of fiber in them, but they're also going to have nutrients that are very protective to the body and to your overall fertility. So there are some diet choices that can impact hormonal health in the opposite direction, negatively. So we'll go ahead and jump right into those. So a high sugar diet. So a high sugar diet is one of the things that I talked about before that can begin the cycle of causing blood sugar levels to drop, and also leading to having hypoglycemia and those types of hormonal issues. So having balanced hormones is going to be really important. So having a diet that is limited or eliminates processed sugars. Processed sugars are things that are added to your diet. So like sodas and ice creams and cookies. I know, all those things, right? But there's alternatives now. There's so many great alternatives. So you don't have to live your life without cookies or without popsicles. For me, it's popsicles. I know a lot of people like ice cream, but I'm a popsicle girl. But you can find things that are lower in sugar or that have healthier sugars or are using replacements such as stevia or monk fruit. Monk fruit's one of my favorites right now. Processed foods is another thing that can definitely affect hormonal health. Again, they're really processed, so you're getting full on foods that don't have the nutritional value. And we'll go into nutritional deficiencies in a second and how that directly affects hormones. But processed foods, definitely moving further and further away from those. Being overweight or underweight, this is something that definitely has a direct impact on hormonal health. Being underweight, a lot of women who are not eating enough calories every single day will possibly not be creating enough hormones. They'll be low across the board when it comes to like hormone tests that they've had, or being able to have a cycle, build up a uterine lining, and to regularly ovulate because they're not producing enough hormones. Now, being overweight can also cause issues because excess estrogens tend to be stored in fat. So the more fat that you have in your body, the more that can happen. It also might possibly be leading to some things such as insulin resistance, which is another factor when it comes to hormonal balance. Eating foods that are high in glyphosates, herbicides, and pesticides. So I don't know if anyone kind of was following this last year when the whole glyphosate thing happened, the whole lawsuits that happened for the pesticide glyphosate. So glyphosates have been found in our water streams and our foods, everything, because they've been used pretty extensively as a pesticide. So what glyphosates are doing in the body is they are acting as a very strong hormone, a xenohormone. They're mimicking hormones in the body. What happens is there's certain foods that these chemicals have been sprayed on. So animal feed, for instance, like the soy, the corn, all these animal feed products are sprayed with these compounds, and then the animals are eating them and they are compounding within their body. So when you go to eat that, then you are now being exposed to that. It also can be found in different vegetables. There was a recent study that came out with garbanzo beans showing that there was high amounts of glyphosates. So eating as organic as you can, and also learning about like the Dirty Dozen and the Clean 15, I think is what it's called. That'll really help you if you're not able to purchase organic, to focus on those foods so that you can avoid the glyphosates, the herbicides, and pesticides as much as possible. And then the last is going to be to make sure you have all your nutritional needs met, that you aren't experiencing any nutritional deficiencies. I know it's strange to think that in our modern world that people would actually have nutritional deficiencies, but there are. Having diets high in processed foods is what's causing this. So for instance, vitamin C can make a big difference in the length of your cycle, luteal phase, implantation. Iron makes a big difference with uterine lining, building up your blood, having a healthy period, regular ovulation. Vitamin E deficiencies can directly affect fertility. So vitamin E, if you're only eating foods that are cooked, you're not eating raw nuts and seeds, you're not eating a direct source of vitamin E, how are you going to be getting it? So kind of learning where these foods are, becoming kind of taking it on and making it really fun to learn where you can get these foods in your diet. I have extensive articles on naturalfertilityinfo.com that are going to have these specific nutrients and the foods you can find them in. But to simplify it, if you're eating a whole food diet that has lots of variety in all the different food groups, your bases will generally be covered, especially if you're eating some raw fruits and vegetables to get some of these nutrients like the vitamin C. And then the last is going to be essential fatty acids, making sure that you're getting enough omega-3 and omega-6 in your diet. A lot of these are going to, again, come from nuts and seeds, cold water fish, grass-fed meats are high in omega-3, and then also supplementing. There is absolutely no shame in supplementing with omega-3 or 6. Mostly omega-3 is what most people need. But I find, my family, we all supplement with essential fatty acids every single day to make sure we kind of check off that box. So those are some factors that are really important when it comes to hormonal health. It can be so easy to be like, what herbs do I take to help with hormonal balance? And we'll get to those herbs in one of the next videos. But nutrition really needs to be a factor to just be aware of. You don't have to be perfect. I know the holidays are coming up. You can enjoy the holidays, but just making sure that you are getting back to whatever it is your plan and just taking steps each day. Don't feel guilty if you fall off, just get back on, right? And just think about some of these things to help, support your hormonal health. So if you have any questions, please let me know. If you want to learn more about eating for fertility and hormonal health, again, visit my website, naturalfertilityinfo.com, and you can reach out through DMs or Messenger. I'm more than happy to answer some questions. Okay, so some great questions here. And you can put them in the comments if you guys have any. Oh, please go slower. I'm so sorry, Karen. I talk so fast. I'm working on it. Karen's asking me to talk slower. This will be posted and recorded if you end up wanting to watch it again to catch up. It's the Puerto Rican in me. I am trying to slow down. Great. Hey, from Norway. Awesome. So fiber powder is also the same as fiber in foods. Great question. So I get asked about eating fiber, if that's something people should add to their diet. I actually don't. I personally don't think taking a fiber supplement is ideal. Eating foods that are high in fiber is the way to go. It's not, aiming for at least like 24 grams a day would be a good place to start. You're going to be getting so many other important things from foods that are high in fiber, not just the fiber. So we want the folate that's included in that green leafy vegetable, or we want whatever nutrients, antioxidants, whatever. So I personally am not a huge proponent of fiber supplementation. I think through diet should be the main focus. Have I heard an association between hormonal health issues and vaccines? I have not. I have not really looked into that. I love making date cookies with no processed sugar. Awesome, Celine. That sounds so good. I have another person, I don't know if she's on here right now, but she is obsessed with dates. I absolutely love them. How about seed cycling for hormonal balance? This is a topic I get asked about a lot. And I honestly have to say that, I've done a little bit of seed cycling and I've written about it and done some research, but it's not something that I use very regularly. But I know there's some women that have really liked it, but it's kind of not, one of my go-tos. I like to focus on overall support, and then kind of, I'm using herbs and supplements more specifically. Does not mean it doesn't work. It's just not one of the tools that I use. How do you know you're eating the correct combination of protein, fiber, and carbs? So it would be just making sure you have something from each of those food groups. So an example meal would be, having a salad, and then you've got quinoa. So you've got your vegetables, you've got quinoa, and then you can have quinoa either as your protein source or eat additional protein, such as chicken or fish or whatever you want. But just having something from each food group. You don't have to get overly, focused on it. Just making sure there's something represented. Cool. Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for joining me today. Tomorrow, I'll be doing another video in this series of hormonal health and how to support yourself naturally. We're going to be talking about helping to protect the body and to help the body to manage hormonal health and to get rid of excess hormones. So talk about that very soon. I hope you all have a wonderful day.